Ladies and gentlemen, it is 10 p.m. in the United Kingdom, 5 o'clock in the USA, and 11 p.m. in Europe. It is time for the third edition of the Transcendence Run Reviews. I am joined here with none other than Iwito himself, the tournament organizer. How are we doing?
We're doing pretty good today. I think qualifying is starting to ramp more. We are already halfway through qualifying, and things are only going to get more tense from here. Now, of course, we still have the online stages, which I think are going to be quite tense as well. But here we are. We've got quite a few events to show today.
Indeed, it is the 3rd of February. We have 14 events to show you today, including 3 comparisons and around 2 to 3 events per, well, run overall. What do you reckon we can expect from today?
We can expect some very exciting stuff. We can also expect the usage of Knockout soundtrack at the moment. Now I gotta say, we definitely have a new set of events where people have started to populate more times. We have a few more Destinator stuff, but we have once again a higher concentration from Charles Speed Lap. That's what most people do, and we're going to see some high talent there as well.
We have seen quite a few new people come about this week as well, people who are yet to submit, and we've also seen some quite big point drops and also rather a lot of ties as well. There's been a lot going on throughout the week, and well, it's definitely getting interesting to say the least. I have no idea what to expect in the next over the next 3 weeks, because there's not long left to qualify, peeps, so yeah.
Yes, if you're in this tournament, get your runs in as soon as possible. Time is starting to wear down, and once that time's up, if you don't have anything there, you're kind of out of luck.
Indeed you are. So here we are, here we have the qualifying lineups. Here we go for Speed Lap. We have Q4, Q5, Q6, Q7 and Q10. For Time Trial we have Q17, 18, 20, 21 and 23, which is a comparison. For Zone Mode we have Q30 and Q33, which is a comparison. And for Detonator we have Q34, which is a comparison, and Q37. So, quite a few events that we have not seen on a run review yet, and a couple of returning events as well, but each with different times, not showing previous ones that we've seen in events before. So, well,
yes.
Here we go. Let's get started. We're starting off with Event 4, Soul 2 Reverse on Flash. Now, there's been quite a few things happening this week.
Interesting combination right there.
And I believe there was a world record set on this track in the last week as well, am I correct?
Yes.
So we're going to begin with Mr. Alloy, who's currently in 7th place for this particular event. Gets a nice side shift there, but doesn't go for the turbo. He seems as though he has
a... for a different spot.
Exactly what I was going to say, yes. I think he is using a different spot for the turbo. Let's find out where he's going to use it. I believe it's probably going to be here. Yes, he is. Going over the wing, landing on the speed pad.
That still kind of works.
It does. Still quite fast with a 26.27.
I like his first approach in the first corner, though.
Hey, it's me. Currently in 3rd place.
3rd place at the moment. Pretty nice double hit on the speed pad there. Nice line through that very unusual turn right there. It's always hard to get a good sharp turn through that uphill turn thing. A little bit wide there, gets the double in, rounds out the front to finish off a pretty darn good lap.
Not bad, eh? Not bad at all.
We don't know the 100th there, but...
But here we have you in 1st place, who is now the world record holder officially for this track, which obviously means he's in 1st place for this particular tournament. So, as you can see, very, very neat run, and doing it in VR as well. You've kind of taken a bit of a hitch for VR recently, haven't you?
It's kind of cool to do it in VR. Now watch this.
A beautiful double roll and a perfect lap as well. Oh, I mean, how did you execute that? What was going through your mind? Tell me.
So I actually knew there was a VR possible like at that time, but I don't think I've seen a single person that's me to do a double BR and finish the lap. So I'm probably the first to do it in VR, so that's kind of ridiculous. There is a time better than me, but it's at like 6 seconds, and I don't recognize it. So I think I am officially the world record holder there.
Yeah, you've actually had some compliments from the comment section already from JW Tech saying it was an impressive run. So how about that? You're already getting compliments, mate.
How about that? I'm getting some fans. We're now going from 4 to 5.
Going in a straight line for a little while, we're going to another pass reverse on the Rapier.
Yeah. This is a bit of a unusual track, but let's see what people do on Rapier.
Okay, we're starting with Darth Maiko getting a turbo over the line, keeping just slightly ahead of his Ghost, using the turbo here, gets a nice roll and smoothly into the turn. Goes for the roll here as well and gets it, but doesn't go for the bonus advanced barrel roll there. But it goes for a roll there, gets a very easy bit of speed, going around another turbo nice and light around the corner. Gets a bit close to the wall, but gets a perfect lap and, well, crosses the line with a decent time. Honest Fork currently in second place here. This is...
he actually was first in this event for quite a while.
But now, I believe, the first place is occupied by you, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Doesn't quite get the roll there.
That roll there.
Which, if he had have landed it, he could have well have still been in first place. And this is you currently in first place for this event. Was this a world record as well? I don't remember.
This is a guaranteed world record. I'm officially first on the board. There's no glitch times. 100%
So you've had two
world
records in the, you've had 2 world records in the space of 1 week on the earlier events. That's just crazy, man. I mean, very clean throughout. Just those barrel rolls are so advanced. Honestly, I mean. It takes a lot to do what you just did. You just did. So, yeah, there you go. So, I think we already know what the next event's going to be. It is Q5, sorry, Q6. I was about to say Q5, we just had Q5.
Yeah, if you know basic counting from, like, first grade, I think you should be good for what's next.
Yeah, of course. It's Q6 next. And I believe that is also a Rapier. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, it is Sabenko Klein Rapier. And we've had a few runs on this one, and we have had this event before, but we're showing you new runs, not past runs for this particular event, because I feel as if just showing the same runs again, it gets boring. You don't want to see the same runs again, do you? You want to see where the improvements are.
Other people that aren't from Great Britain and Northern Ireland.
Yep, we are going to Free Wiper, we're going French, we are with Mikhail. As you see, gets a nice little barrel roll there, goes in quite neatly, but a slight wall collision on the left there. A little bit wiggly, but goes in very neatly nonetheless. Slightly misses the speed pad.
This is the roll in the tunnel though.
Gets a bit high on the turbo, but gets through the track nonetheless. And this is a rather interesting run. We have music to Nitro Boost 245, who's currently in 4th place for this particular event. Gets a very nice roll there, but misses the speed pad. Gets a nice side shift, gets another roll, but misses the speed pad there. Gets a double roll easily, gets on the speed pad, landing absolutely perfectly, going down the hill. Ooh, misses the speed pad there slightly, but goes in perfectly. Ooh, but he doesn't quite get the roll off the edge there. And also, he likes to applaud himself. Yeah, good old Nitro. And here we have the Honest Fork. Current event position is 1st place for this one. You are not too far behind him, I do believe.
Yeah, but this is a tough lap. I mean, there's so much that has to go right for it all to, like, get to, like, look at that. That is such a cool final turn there.
That was just pure smoothness. That was just, orgasmic. Satisfying as hell.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. It's amazing what we've been seeing throughout this tournament, and there's still 3 weeks to go, and there are still, I think, 10 people left to submit at least one run. So
I believe so. We have tried to contact them. We might try it again as the weeks start rounding down, but we do have Meg 1S, so that's good to see. Hopefully they can get the other runs in as well, along with everyone else.
Yep, we've also had Risk 82. We've also had Quakulus come about as well. We know Patrex is obviously doing their runs as well. So, excellent stuff. We are seeing, well, we are in the purest form of qualifying now. Everything is really happening. But we are moving on now to Event 7, Shengyu Project in Phantom class. Now, what can we expect from this one, Awito?
We can expect people to have times and submit them.
Exactly correct. We are here with Nitro Boost in 7th place.
Fury.
Different ship to use, I have to admit. It's good to see that we are seeing other ships being used.
Rather messy.
But clean racing line, however. Very clean racing line, getting round those corners quite swiftly.
Yeah.
Perfect side shift to the left there. Very nice indeed. Followed by Beak.
Hey, it's Beak.
In 4th place with a Pfizer Fury.
That's a bit surprising, but not necessarily a bad choice for a track like this.
No. Got a slight... I can't talk today. Got a slight swing on the hairpin there, but not a bad little run. Very smooth indeed. Maybe didn't... kind of hurt a little bit on the wall collision at the end there, but never mind. Here we are with me.
It's you. He actually beat me on this one, unfortunately. But,
not by much, though.
Very nice triple roll there. Almost clips the tunnel, but that's all fine and handy. Pretty nice racing line. Rounding the corner, using the turbo. Getting a nice line straight through that chicane series to round out the lap.
And beating you by only 0.01.
Yeah, that's all we was going to see.
That was literally like... as close as I was going to get to you. So, yeah. And I just know you're going to come in and eventually surpass the, aren't you? Let's be honest.
We shall see.
I'm hoping not. Points mean prizes, after all.
It takes a lot to do what we do.
Indeed, it does. How many times have we said that now? I wonder if anyone's been counting.
It might be in the dozens.
Who knows? But next up we have 2048 runs now. Even though there's actually only ones for Speed Lap. But yeah, we're going to Event 10, Downtown B Class. There's been a bit of action on this week. There's been quite a few thousand laps as well. Excuse me.
Yeah, the activity on the podium, basically the top half, has ramped up considerably.
And there's actually...
for the 50 points.
And there is actually currently a tie for first place currently.
Oh dear.
But here we have Lady White in a Piranha Fury. Sorry, Piranha Speed.
I mean, they're both Piranha, but...
Got the first bit right.
High in the turn.
Because everyone else on this particular event has gone with Pfizer Prototype, which happens to be the favourite.
I mean, there aren't necessarily, like, not a lot of pads on this course, but I mean, it's still something.
Indeed, it is something. And here we have Kid 8 with a Pfizer Prototype on lap 18 going into the 19th lap, getting a side shift onto the right there going into the corner. Gets very close to the wall.
Extremely close to that building there.
Close to the edge. Going over all these speed pads swiftly.
That is an interesting speed pad hit. That might be something to look into.
Hitting those 5 speed pads gives you a little advantage. I think about 0.1 roughly, maybe 0.2 if you get it absolutely perfect.
It all in as you go through the lap. A bit shaky, but keeps it clean. Side shifts that way. I mean, that still works.
And here's my run. I'm currently tied with Beak, the first place currently. I went in and got all the 3 speed pads there and managed to not hit the wall. This was done on lap 79, but there was like 210 laps before this, so that's pretty much
it was
I've done.
A similar case for me when I previously was going for the best time here.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
pretty hard to optimize course here.
But you should see, like right here, I was really impressed with how smoothly I got this. I was very happy.
Something right there.
I definitely was very happy on how smooth I managed to get that there. Part of that was an element of luck, I must admit, but Alas, it was still a 33-13. So, yeah. Okay, so we are done with the speed laps, and we are now moving progressively on to the time trials.
Oh, time trials, how they are so interesting and perhaps more demanding in some regards. It is ultimately up to you to decide whether you agree with that or not.
Here we are on an event that has not been shown just yet. We are on event 17. Making a little jump from 10 to 17, we're going to Ubermore Reverse on Rapier. Simply because these higher up events have been a little bit more popular as of this week, I have to admit, because people have obviously been finishing their runs and people have been, well, they're not on the early runs anymore. They've kind of been moving up as the weeks have gone on. So we're going to be seeing these high number runs more than anything, and more modes towards Zone and Detonator and the later time trials. Here we are with Lady White. Doesn't go for the turbo there, so she's using the turbo for something else.
Probably crossing the line. That's another place where you could use the turbo in single races.
Indeed. Ooh, that's an interesting turbo. I reckon if she used it just a little bit later, she could have got down and did another, maybe 2 barrel rolls going down a little hill
perhaps. There. I mean, you maybe use the Phantom and think about the turbo spots there, but you have to think a little bit later in the slightly slower Rapier class.
Yes, indeed. Ooh, very nearly missed the roll there, but landed nonetheless.
Yeah, this is certainly a pretty decent time trial, even with the small mistakes. There's still a pretty good racing line being followed at the moment.
She went in for the barrel roll there, but wasn't quite high enough to reach it.
Yeah.
But the racing line is incredibly straightforward, and ooh, very messy there. I'm pretty sure the air brake to the right there was not intended.
I think she was trying to go for a side shift, potentially.
As she actually comments on her own run throughout this, she's actually saying she was screaming all the time in frustration as she was doing this.
Yeah, I think some people might agree, because Ubermore Reverse is definitely a bit of a weird track to do a time trial on Rapier as well.
Indeed. But, nonetheless, straightforward racing line, clean driving. But I reckon, with improvements necessary, I reckon she could really push herself up. Here we are with Kid, currently in 4th place, using a Piranha Fury.
You gotta respect the commitment for sticking with Piranha, though.
Absolutely. This guy is probably Snake's best friend.
Probably.
It wouldn't surprise me. But alas, he is just as fast with a Piranha than he is an Icarus. But doesn't quite get the advanced barrel roll at the top there. Goes in. Oh, very nearly hits the Uber plant. Everyone's favourite thing.
It's always something you want to watch out for. It's always a difficult skill to do.
It takes a lot to do what you do avoiding that. Does he go for the roll? No, he doesn't. But he keeps up at the speed, goes down with a barrel roll. Perfect barrel roll. Ooh, slight impact on the left wall there. Goes in very quickly.
It's much tougher to do the chicane on the Piranha.
Very, very clean. Lap 3 there. Very, very clean. Well far ahead of his Ghost. He's got absolutely no anxiety whatsoever. But however, it's always the 4th lap that comes in with the most hyper-intense heart beats. Am I right? The heart races at this point, especially knowing that you could easily fuck it up. But goes in very, very, very smoothly. And from this point onwards, he is home dry. Definitely a very impressive run. Very clean. Followed the racing lines. And if he could learn the advanced barrel roll at the end of the track there, I reckon he could push himself up even further on the leaderboards. And here we are. And here we are with the Honest Fork. Once again, 1st place currently on this particular event. Super smooth through there. Side shift to the left. Gets it so easily. Lands perfectly. And just swiftly through there. Side shifting action is just on point. Gets for the roll. perfect.
That's perhaps a better barrel because you stay more straight towards the turn instead of having to go around with the hill.
Even that wall collision didn't even hurt him whatsoever there.
One pan is still pretty much tied head to head with the ghost.
Ooh, doesn't quite get the roll there. But it still put him ahead of the ghost. So, even when Fork misses barrel rolls, and is not perfect on his particular time trials, he is still absolutely nailing it every single time. The guy is relentless. Ooh, doesn't get the barrel roll there again, but gets that roll and just slightly falls behind his ghost, but then gets ahead of it again. Nothing is stopping the honest Fork, quite honestly. Forking his way through.
Forking his way through like a knife through butter.
Forking hell, he's doing well.
Session complete.
Oh god. Enough with the fork innuendo, so there you go, that was event 17. I figured I'd change up the music as well this time round. What do you think of that, like in between the little transitions?
Well, it was nice to go through the history of Wipeout with this music, because I know this might sound crazy, but there are more games than Wipeout HD. So, you know, having Onyx, that's good.
Going all about the Wipeout Pure on this particular one. There's also a few even older songs as well, but you'll see them later on. You will see them later on. Okay, here we are once again. Tech Dura, Rapier this time, event 18.
I think we seem to like Rapier for some reason today.
Rapier's been quite a popular one.
Yeah. I guess it's like some sort of interesting middle ground between everyone, I guess.
Yeah, what's been spoken about Rapier as of recent? Oh yeah, we got to stick to Rapier, am I right? No. Just no. Okay, here we are with Mika Heil. Again, with this run. Goes in smoothly. Slightly wide, but all good nonetheless. Ooh, goes for the barrel roll. Got to give him his due. He's going for it and he's trying his best. Didn't get quite high enough for that barrel roll there, though.
I think he might have had to pitch up a little bit earlier to get that one.
But smooth exit onto the line there. Ooh.
He's still holding on to his line as he rounds the turn.
Oh, he went for it again. He's really giving it a good try.
Well, at least got that one.
Ooh, slight wall collision there, but nonetheless, he is remaining and keeping a very good racing
Whoa,
line.
that was a little close for comfort.
But he is still ahead of the Ghost, which means he is still improving.
Yeah.
And as we say in Wipeout, any improvement is necessary. Because obviously, let's be honest, everybody can improve their runs, even including the world record holders. Especially what I've learned throughout the last week on Detonator. Holy moly. Honestly.
Final lap.
There's always room for improvement. And if you can beat your Ghost, you're off to a good start. Keeping a very consistent racing line.
Yeah, and you may not realize how important that still is in the grand scheme of things. Even if you may miss a roll, you may get it back with some clean lines.
One thing good with Mika Heil as well is, quite literally, he does a lot to stay off the walls. He generally side shifts perfectly to get away from walls. He has good control of his ship. Here we are with Beak, currently in 6th place. For some reason, the audio for Beak's particular runs always seems to be really, really quiet for some reason. So
I guess that's probably how he set up his own game.
Beak, if you are here, which I believe you are, I've seen you pop up a few times, could you turn up your volume a little bit, mate? Sound hurts my ear. Ah, okay.
Okay.
Now I understand. Okay, you can ignore me now. We understand. Very smooth. Got a consistent racing line as well, but slightly behind his Ghost. Doesn't necessarily matter when it comes to,
That's interesting.
I was joking. Ha 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 ha. So funny! as we know with the tournament, obviously ghost times don't necessarily mean that if you beat it, you can still post a time onto the leaderboards. So, regardless of your best time that you could possibly get at this moment in time, even if you beat the ghost or not, you can still make it on the leaderboards.
Yeah, but that's the thing with the qualifying window, because you may submit a time that's slightly slower than your personal best. I know I've had to do the same for zone, unless I put in the time and actually try and do a new PB, depending on the time. But again, it's ultimately up to you to get what you can within the window.
Absolutely. Just hearing from Beak as well in the chat. This is actually a banker run, as he calls it. So this is not actually going to be his official final run for this particular event. So we've got improvements on the way from him. So we might see him back for this event later on.
Beat Mika Hal.
And here we have you in second place. You stole my... You stole my second place. For some reason, yeah, Mr. PlayStation came up.
Mr. PlayStation.
He just spoke to me right then as well. I don't know if you probably heard that, but...
Okay, I didn't even know that was a thing.
Look at this, I mean, so smooth.
Takes a lot.
Perfect timing, yeah, everyone, thanks, yeah, thanks PlayStation. Don't you dare! Shut up, thank you. He didn't do it this time, thank God. Right. Oh, slight wall collision on the left there. Oh, another one. What happened there? You get a bit too close to the wall there, bud.
Yeah, I guess so. It's a bit tricky to try and maintain some good lines.
It's not hard, is it? Sorry, it's not hard. It's not easy, is it?
Yeah.
You're improving most laps as well. I mean, 24, 28, 24, 30. I mean, you even actually got a second ahead of your first lap on the second. So, you're constantly going up, which is always nice. I mean, it's so smooth. You didn't beat me by much, did you? You only got me by about 2/10, I think it was.
I mean, it's still something.
It is something, but this does mean I'm going to have to go back and somehow beat you, because you're annoying.
Wow.
Sorry, I didn't mean
the same person that immediately took back event 34.
Yeah, I suppose. Okay, I suppose we're fair and square then. Alright.
It is the competition. I don't think there's much else that needs to be said.
No. Oh, I thought it was just a tea party, like we have in Britain.
It's a very explosive tea party.
Indeed. But now we're also going on to another event that has yet to be featured in a run review. And also we would like to see a few more events on this particular one, because this one's not been very popular. This one's barely been spoken about. This is Event 20, Talon's Junction Phantom.
Only recently have we started to get a few more runs for it, I think. It's been a bit dormant. I think more people were more concerned about Event 19, probably.
Hmm. Why is Nitropost commenting utter silence? 1 second. You liar! Nitro is trolling, I hate you so much. Too busy watching the stream, I'm not watching your run. Mr. Aloy. Right, I'm turning off the comments now, goodbye. Right, I'm not watching the comments anymore. So, Mr. Aloy with a Physar Fury. Usually the most popular one for this particular event happens to be a Van Uber at the minute. But unfortunately, because Van Uber is locked behind a digital release and pre-order, I believe, not many people get to use it, and I kind of do feel as if it's about time that Van Uber was made available to everybody. Don't you agree?
Yeah. This is kind of a weird time trial just in general, because this is like one of the few where Van Uber is genuinely a good choice, mainly probably for the hairpins, but even then Icarus Fury still has the overall viability in the grand scheme of things.
There's also not many places to roll on this particular track. This is pretty much a flatland like Mara Firma, even though Mara Firma's not really a flatland, but they call it on the trophy Flatland Flyer. So, you know, but I think they should have really looked at Talon's Junction, really. Because this is more of a flat land than Mara Firma. But alas, he is doing incredibly well with a 5-star Fury, keeping up times. Look at that consistency down the bottom there. I mean, constantly improving every lap, staying in the 20-second times. I mean, who's to say you could do this with an Icarus? Who's to say you could do this with maybe even faster ships? Maybe even Van Uber if he owns it.
It's always the hairpin, though. You always gotta make sure you time it right so that you still get the advantage of the slight speed increase.
Session
Yes.
complete.
You want every bit of speed you can possibly get. And here we have Darth Maiko, who's in 5th place currently for this particular event, and doing this in VR. As we've seen Darth Maiko do for every single event. He's also in a Harry Mal Fury. So another...
Quite interesting pick, but it's certainly not a bad one. Harry Fury still has some viability here and there.
It does, and it also has quite a bit of speed. And I have seen Harry Mal up on the leaderboards a fair bit. So, they're definitely not incapable.
Yeah,
And it happens to be my favourite ship as well, so...
Racing line matters probably the most out of any other event in this
Perfect
tournament.
lap.
Getting in with a perfect lap there. I mean, hitting most speed pads just very fluidly.
Definitely essential when it's pretty much only one main VR spot in the whole lap.
Perfect lap.
People think I've actually turned the chat off. No, I did not turn the chat off. I was joking. Canar Avalon with Transcendence is the best event ever. Looking forward to joining you next edition, guys. So hyped. Oh my god. Is it tea time now, it says today? Yes, it is tea time in the United Kingdom, although it's a bit late. It's 22:33 over here at the minute.
Perfect lap. Final lap.
I think Kanar's gonna be quite pleased by what might be planned next, but we'll keep that one down low for now. Nevertheless, we are on the final lap of Maiko doing
Oh my god!
with the time. He's going to round the hairpin corner, and there he goes, very consistent, hitting the double pad, maintaining a straight line through the awkward final
Session
turn, and there he goes.
complete.
What a great time.
Ooh. And here we have the Honest Fork.
In
Who
the
else?
Van Uber.
Who else? Here we go with the Honest Fork using the Van Uber that everybody has been saying that is the most efficient use or ship for this particular track.
Now that, super close to the floor, but that is optimal pretty much.
Slight wall collision on the left there, but doesn't stop him from the speed. But he's slightly behind his Ghost, so he's been faster before. But alas, goes in nice and smoothly, keeps straight. I noticed he turbos a little bit later after the speed pad, so maybe that might be a pointer for some people. If you want to get around that corner there and maintain a bit of speed, I reckon maybe just using the turbo just a little bit later can benefit you to the milliseconds, which, as we know, milliseconds
Might make all the difference.
they really, really do. I mean, the amount of ties we've seen now, I think we've had 12 ties now in the space of Transcendence.
We also apparently have a leaderboard tie in the entire overall results. So hopefully that's broken, because if somehow we have a tie between like the knockout rounds, I mean, that might be a problem.
Oh god, I mean, what do we expect for the knockout round?
I mean, we
seriously?
still have 3 weeks, so, you know, still some time, but time is wearing thin.
Yep, you've got 3... yeah, we got 3 weeks left to qualify. There are 28 participants, 19 of which I believe have submitted an event. So, you know, it's going to get very interesting.
Ooh,
and obviously, for
super
some people...
close right there. What
Ooh.
optimality.
Some people are actually finishing their events as we speak as well. The point, I think there's 8 or 9 people with over 1,000 points on qualifying now. So, honestly, this next month is going to be hyper intense, and there's going to be a lot of action. And we've got 15 people watching. This is the most people we've ever had.
That's a lot of people. That is very impressive.
It's impressive to see in all of you. Thank you all very much for turning out.
Thank you everyone for watching. That means a lot. We're gonna try and keep making these the best we can be.
Indeed, and we have 3 more run reviews to come after this one. So this is actually the halfway point of the run reviews, unfortunately. But we might do something for...
but there's still plenty of hype coming up.
And you never know, we might be able to do something for the online stages. Obviously, maybe not so much the championship, because obviously we're all going to be playing in the championship, hopefully. But...
Yeah, but we'll... I mean, I know at least we'll probably record our perspectives, and I think that will be more than enough for the people to see how that final stage goes. But we're still qualifying. We're going to go to Metro Park C.
With Mikhail.
Seeing this one.
And we have Mikhail. Doesn't go back and get the speed pads to get a small running start, but nonetheless, gets a nice fluid start going in.
Ooh, tried for the roll there.
But doesn't quite get it, but it hasn't affected his speed none whatsoever.
Other section, interesting.
Oh my god, chat's going a million miles an hour.
Oh, dude.
If you could maybe like bring up the chat on your end.
The chat myself.
Yeah, I think maybe you should load up the chat yourself so I can.
I'm gonna need to start looking at this myself.
Yeah, there's 16 people here. That's crazy.
Holy moly! I mean, spread the word if you wish. We greatly appreciate it. Let's get back to Mikhail's run. He is pretty consistent. Again, it's the lines. The lines are pretty darn good. Like, whether it's Venom or Phantom, like, this is something that the guy knows, which might help him in the online stages.
Oh, he nearly gets a barrel roll. I reckon if he just held the nose up just a little bit longer, he could have well have made that, you know.
Yeah.
It goes to show there is potential in every single pilot, and as soon as they learn the meta, well, who knows?
There may still be things that people haven't realized yet. It really comes down to experimentation when it comes to seeing just how much time you can shave off, whether it's speed lap or time trial.
Nitro Boost says, yes, moderate us, even though I'm the moderator for moderator for solo streams. Well then do your job then, Nitro! Moderate.
That would be funny, but please do not do that, because then other people could submit as you, and I don't think you would like that.
And yeah, you might place lower down on some of the times, but even then, it's only your best time that gets registered, so I mean, it kind of might be pointless anyway. So, and also, runs wouldn't go through anyway, because we'd have to verify them. So, you know, and obviously we do look for the name tag sometimes to make sure it's actually coming from that particular person, so there's probably not much way of getting around it, if I'm honest. So, you know, if you're going to use other people's secret ID, think again. It's not going to work. Going on to the final lap with 2 minutes 25 on the clock.
I like what Kid 8 posted. It's the freaking flags.
Just the flags, you know.
This is a surprisingly long... I mean, I know it's C-Class, but this is a surprisingly long time trial compared to even an Alpha Pass back in Event 13. That was still, like, less than 2 minutes.
It's kind of why I prefer comparisons for the 25, for the 2048
well,
time trials.
We do have something that will probably please the viewers for the next event, I believe.
Indeed, it is the next event. We obviously we've got a few more runs for this particular event first, but then after that,
clips it. But I think I think he was gonna think about restarting. But I think that is a PB. There we go. Very nice.
3:14:20, and here we have Darth Maiko. Excuse me.
He does actually go back and set this up.
Currently in third place for this particular tournament, but it goes a different way, which means he misses 2 speed pads there.
Well, that's definitely something to think about, because pads are very important, especially in the lower classes. Maybe not as much in the higher, but it's still obviously something that you want to prioritize, because that way you're getting max speed quicker.
Indeed, you're absolutely right. Michael Lousy, which is actually Mika Heil, says, still having trouble with the pitching, but I didn't play the Amiga collection this intensely over the last 2 years, so pretty happy with the improvement. You should be.
Yeah,
because...
be proud of yourself, Mika Heil. You're still definitely showing that you definitely have some work in this tournament.
And also,
see in the online stage.
And also, you're in 4th place overall at the minute. So you're very high up.
Beak or Fork or the others, at the moment, you literally go straight to stage 3. So that's very interesting. I think that might incentivize others.
And obviously, he's been dedicated to doing the events as well. So therefore, I think he pretty much booked his place in the online competition regardless. I think.
And in case people don't remember, Mika Heil was part of Epsilon 5 years ago. This is a pretty darn cool case of improvement here. Mika Heil really could be a strong contender for online.
Indeed, and obviously he was in the silver final back in the day as well.
Yes, he was.
And obviously there's a few there. Honest Hawk was in the bronze. Me and you are in gold. Pigeon was in gold. So there's been a few returning players.
Slight tangent. Pinch has said he will be working on runs as well. So yeah, things are seriously going to start ramping up.
I hope your verification eyes are ready, because there's going to be a lot to see over the next month. It's going to really, really get tight.
It's starting to get extremely tense as we move forward.
I mean,
it almost feels a bit disrespectful. We should probably talk a little bit more about Dark Michael.
Oh no, I was literally just I was literally just about to say. I mean, I was about to say, I was just about to say, looking at this run throughout as well. I mean, look at Darth Maiko. I mean, saying how things tight are throughout watching this time trial as well as discussing the things in Transcendence at the moment. He's been incredibly tight with his racing line. He's taken the left route at the start of the track every single time. Do you reckon that may have cost him time from the speed pads back there?
See, that is again one clear case example of how impactful speed classes are when it comes to the event track. Nonetheless, when you're in C class, it might actually be more advantageous to go for paths that can do speed pass earlier rather than the ones that may be more optimal for A class and A plus. Because I think it is clear cut that taking that left shorter path is better in A plus. And I think I see it in some of the WR runs. But here it is a different story. That's what makes this time trial potentially kind of unique in how it flows.
Indifferent. It honestly, he's put in an incredible run. I mean, a 3:59.
Yeah,
I mean,
that is very good. I think it's like half a second slower than yours.
Yeah.
This,
so even going down
to a world record, I mean, this is pretty darn snazzy, especially with the double BRs that you will be seeing shortly.
See, I actually finished second place in the world after finishing this run. Obviously, there is a run that's in first place, but it's glitched, so therefore it's discounted.
Yeah, but we do have Omide, I think, is the actual world record holder.
Actually,
and I'm
you're wrong.
That he was in the run.
Actually, you're wrong, sir. It's actually SOA Booney who currently has the world record on this one.
Oh, that's kind of surprising. I mean, Omide has to at least be like top 5 on this event.
I think he is, yeah.
Very clean lines overall. This is just honestly a bit of a surprising time trial. I'm a bit, I think there has been a little bit more activity, but this one's just not as much. Probably because it's a little slower, but there's still quite a few things to keep in mind with how this one track flows in particular. And that super clean speed pad hitting right there.
I mean, even if I'm missing speed pads, I'm still maintaining the speeds. It's kind of like, even missing a few pads here, there, and then, it's kind of, it's not really hurting me too much.
And perhaps more important, the racing line as well.
You have to be so tight when it comes to the slower classes, because otherwise, you like, as you've seen in Kids Run, when it comes to Empire Climb C, I mean, the average lap time's 1 minute, and he's pulling 58s. I mean,
yeah, as I said before, that event, again, at first glance, doesn't seem all that exciting, but man, there's so much stuff that comes in for optimization. Kid definitely deserves his provisional pole for there.
Indeed, you're absolutely right there. And when you see the comparisons as well, you'll literally really properly see why these milliseconds and just how tight you need to be is so important.
Yeah. You didn't even set a legit time on this, and you somehow go like second in the world.
No, I actually had never set a time on this, and I then jumped to second in the
Yeah,
world.
that's why I said it, because it says 9:59 on the top left.
Yep. So, because I always knew that that double barrel roll was possible, I just didn't know if you could do it on C class, and it seems as though, well, you can. Maybe not the second time there, but never mind.
Definitely not easy, but it's very clear that you have such a good racing line, clear understanding of how to navigate that Spicer prototype on C class. Even though it's slower, there's still a lot of skill being displayed right here.
So yeah, I was quite happy with this run, to be honest with you. Yeah, as you can see, second place in the world. Ignore Pac-Man Racing, because that's glitched.
Is a cheater, probably.
Yeah, unfortunately it was a cheated time. But, guys, ladies and gentlemen, the time has come. We are now going to be showing you a comparison. Yes, we have a comparison ready.
You know, at first, I wasn't necessarily sure why this one should have a comparison, but once I actually rendered the video, I was like, wait a minute, I think Solar's onto something. So I think you guys will be pretty interested to see this full 2048 comparison on none other than a rather surprising pick for an A-Class time trial, Unity Square.
On A-Class, Events 23. If we can get his attention next week, by the way, that would be absolutely amazing. Hyping us up now a little bit. But here we are, the comparison.
Here we go, let's go!
So we have Iwito in first place, Dark Micro in second place, Beak in third place, and myself in fourth place, with a gap overall of 0.79 overall from fourth to first. So you can see, the margin is not exactly big. And look, everyone more or less in the same position.
With a gap of less than a second across the top four spots, definitely makes a lot of sense how close these players are pretty much taking the same strategy. Maybe a few mistakes here and there, but it ultimately adds up when it comes to the final time.
Indeed. Nitro Boost with a comment regarding ties on comparisons, which we were going to do one on Rockway Stadium, but then some ties did break, unfortunately, in the end there, but it's definitely on the cards.
I think we still have a comparison for Rockway Stadium, not so.
We actually do, yes, we do have an oncoming Rockway Stadium comparison. But ties on comparisons are not out of the question, absolutely not. They have been considered heavily.
I mean, if we do end up in a situation where we actually do somehow end up with tie at the top, which I mean, I think we literally have in downtown, might actually be featured in a later run of this.
It was, yeah. Me and Beak currently with a 33-13 there currently. As you can see, everyone just in the same position. And it's hard to believe that most of these are just all within a second of each other. In fact, all of these are within a second of each other. It's just Iwito has the slight advantage.
But even then, not that far off for Darth Maiko. I think the margin is like half a second basically, but that's still something. Perhaps even crazier is the distance between Beak and Solar, only 200ths of a second.
Ooh. But I did miss two speed pads at the end there, therefore might have slowed me down, and unfortunately then leading me to end up being 0.04 behind Beak, which is a huge shame for my behalf, but I'm sure I can go back and improve that over the course of the month. Meanwhile, with Dark Maiko, I mean, he's a 2048 legend enough as it is, and honestly, I can see him
doing it in VR, that's another point of respect right there.
I mean, does anyone else feel tense yet? Look at that, everyone just pretty much simultaneously finishing. Whew. What do we all think about that, eh? I mean, how close was that? And that's the top four.
Tense. I don't know what the chat thinks.
I mean, that was amongst the top four. There was 0.8 within the top four. I mean, this is just the level of skill we're dealing with in this tournament. This is just
It
how
takes a lot
elite.
to do what we do.
It takes a lot to do what we do.
Beak said he missed currently 3 pads in the BR, and even then, still ever so ahead from you. It really says a lot. Now in zone mode!
It is zone mode time. We're going to Corridon 12 in event 30.
Man, I play zone. This is such a weird course. But, could be someone else's favorite. You never know.
Who knows? Here we are with Hey in 7th place currently. I kind of underdid the text there, but never mind. Cruising at Super Zen at the moment with nearly 120,000 points. Wow.
Clear. Perfect lap.
Perfect lap.
So, this course, in comparison to any other course in HD Fury, is the one where perfect laps are the most. Because of how short the track is, it's about basically just getting more consistent perfect zones will matter more in the long run than just trying to go like as far as you can, surprisingly enough. I know obviously that still matters in the end, but the perfect lap matters so much more than you realize on a course like this.
Indeed, because it's 2,000 points a perfect lap and 1,200 points for a perfect zone. And if you can keep this chaining, your score's going to go up relatively quickly. And, well, sometimes even hitting the speed pads, 100 points each, I believe. It's like, well,
Zone 50.
it's how you build score. And obviously this is why you see sometimes that the lower the numbered zones that people have reached have higher scores, because they've been prioritizing the perfect laps and the perfect zones. But then unfortunately crashed out a little bit too early on. So there's all sorts of different reasons why scores are what they are. And obviously in Transcendence, it's the zone score that matters and not so much the zone. But in 2048,
It's different in 2048 because they don't have score. It's just flat out stay alive as long as you can in that regard.
Perfect
Indeed.
lap.
Absolutely right. Remember WoW reaching zone 160 in Syncopia. Didn't you reach zone 200 in Syncopia?
I believe so, but WoW I think reached like zone 140 plus on Corridon 12. I mean, that's pretty darn impressive.
Yes.
I kind of spend more time on this course because it's certainly an interesting one, but I'm not so sure about it. I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Absolutely right. I mean, my best zone on Syncopia was 173, and I did that a few years ago. And I think I saw you, I mean, zone 200, and then on Soul Zone in 2048, we're currently cruising at level 400. I mean, zone 400. I mean, how?
I don't really know. That's kind of Jordan's territory at that point. I just don't spend time on 2048 zone. So to reach zone 400, that's like a solid hour?
Indeed. But as
That's like a solid hour or more of just in VR.
Indeed. As we've come
Yeah,
to a close for
what the heck?
Hei's runs, so we had I think she just about reached zone 60 there, so she got into Mach 1 territory, finished with a score of 144,379 points. And here we have that one bonk in 4th place currently. Someone we
Certainly not bad by any means necessary. Pretty high up there in Mach 1.
And this is someone we've not actually really seen being submitting too many runs in the earlier sections, but more so in the later sections. We've seen this guy do some zones and detonators, but we haven't really seen him do any time trials or speed laps. So we probably want to see this guy a little bit more soon, because, well, we want to see him in the online finals as much as anybody else. So
Yeah, might be a surprising opponent if you happen to go against him in the online stages, whether it be the knockout stages or perhaps even later than that. There's only one way to tell.
I mean, he talks a lot in the like the Wipeout community as well, like on Reddit and other places like Discord. So I mean, this guy is not exactly unknown. So this guy could really show his potential in the online final once he really properly puts nails in these events that he's doing. He's not exactly a bad pilot. I mean, he's surviving very, very well.
Lots of pinballing.
Whoa. Did you see that? He just went
No.
straight into the wall there. What happened there?
A bit early there.
And who else would it be?
There's
Come
really
on.
not much else to say here. Just feel free to have a think on this one.
So we're cruising at zone 116. I think you went to zone 121, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's not even a new PB either.
Yeah, this is a bad run according to you, and I'm failed to see how.
It's not bad. I mean, it's certainly improvable.
Well, I mean, obviously anything's improvable. I mean, you've seen your capability of this. I mean, and I'm curious to see what zone you'll reach when it comes to the Soul Zone. Because obviously zone Q40 obviously was designed to bring players to actually submit runs and actually get bonus points at the end for dedication.
So and hopefully that's helping.
Well, yeah, exactly. We're seeing more runs, and obviously we're seeing dedication, and obviously, you know, we're rewarding the most dedicated, and obviously rewarding the completionists, which I do feel as if is a good way to entice people to, get runs going in and make it even more competitive than it already is. So, I mean, there's ways about doing things, and I feel as if doing a really long event like Soul Zone is the best way to do it, really, to really show your true skill of speed, especially in a game like Wipeout. Ooh, and then there he goes. There he goes. I mean, look at that. 123 zones, not 121. And 1,135,977,867 speed
I don't
pads.
think that's right.
How did you achieve that many?
Let's gloss over that, I guess.
78 perfect zones, 118 laps. You're pretty much almost doing a zone lap, like a lap a zone. It's crazy. And 73.
Well, that's what happens
loops.
when you're on Cordon 12.
Look at that. Wow. I mean, that's a totally accurate speed pad result, though. Wow.
I mean, I'd like to see you try and get over 1 million speed pads in your lifetime, let alone a single zone session.
I mean, they probably would have registered if that was the case. Imagine that. Imagine actually, I'll have to check my
or
stats
might
after
crash
this.
the game, and I don't think people would want that either.
No. Right, next up is, guess what? A comparison, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to Rockway Stadium. Here we are. We are going to Q33 Rockway Stadium.
It's a bit of an interesting comparison. Now, because this is zone, we don't have the full footage for everyone because that would be too much on everyone's stress. But we have something, so hopefully it'll work out.
Indeed. I've had to slim this one down, unfortunately, because of the limits on Share Factory. 80 minutes is not a lot. But we're cruising at Mach 1.9, aka Zone 85 on Rockway Stadium at the minute. Kid on 8% health, Darth Maito low on health, me on half health, and Awito nearly at full health. I mean, how? How are you at full health?
Now, I don't know about you guys, but I think a multiplayer zone would be the greatest thing in mankind, but I don't think that's ever going to happen.
And we have just lost Kid there on Zone 87. He finishes in 4th place currently. Will he improve? I reckon he will. There's points to be had. And currently he is tied with Hey Hey at this current moment in time.
I think this was... Wait a minute, hold on. I think this might have been put before Hey Hey actually put the run in, as far as I'm wrong.
Yes, it was. Hey Hey recently reached Zone 87 alongside Kids. That's
why.
And there is actually 2 ties on this event currently. There was a 3-way tie and a 2-way tie.
It's still there, surprisingly enough. We have
and it is still there, yeah.
Kid and Hey Hey for 87, and a tie for Lady White and Mika Hale at Zone 81. So if either of you want to, for some reason, be a little bit naughty and break the tie, that's all the other two do.
Same to everybody here. If you guys would like to currently view the live results for Transcendence 2024, the Google document spreadsheet is now available in the chat below, so you can go and have a look at the live results as they come in throughout the next month. So you can all go and have a look.
Yeah, the rest is history. Even Transition, that's totally understandable.
Yep, I did transition towards the end there because obviously time restriction, unfortunately. I would have shown the whole run, but 102 zones is a lot for people to sit through, so I think you'd understand why I kind of put it up towards the end of the runs, which we have been doing in these run reviews anyway.
Zone event complete.
Bit of a harsh ending there. I mean, if you have made it around that corner, I reckon you could have made it to at least zone 104, maybe even 105. I mean, ooh.
Maybe.
Who knows?
Now, as much as I love Zone, it may pale in comparison to the final two events that we will be seeing very shortly.
Yep. Next up is the two detonator events. Sorry, my mic moved closer to my mouth there for some reason.
And one of them is the comparison, which you will see very shortly. Now, in my opinion, this might actually be a very interesting comparison. I mean, we certainly have seen a few for Speed Lap and Time Trial and all that, but this could be very interesting to see. So let's have a look-see.
So, Event 34, Annul for Pass Reverse. I've added some music over this just to add a little bit more intensity. Temet, the ship used was an AG system speed. Sorry, agility, not speed.
Yes. I think everyone used it, I think.
And also, we have a world record on this particular detonator event. You're going to see this event in hold.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, that little WR icon is pretty neat.
Indeed, it actually does suit there. I'm not saying that's because on my name, obviously.
Oh my god. I mean, if you look at this from afar, this really feels like something you see out of Rocket League. Like a full four-way comparison from the different players' perspective. This feels super professional. And the way different people have different approaches on this same event definitely shows a lot as to why I think this may be one of the most interesting comparisons we have.
So we have first world record, second, third and fourth we have myself, Iwito, Kid Aidens and Hey Hey. So as you can see, there's a lot of chain bonusing going on. But the strategies are very different, as you can see. Some people rapid firing, some people chaining.
Hey Hey's more on the side of just trying to do whatever mind she can possibly see in her general vicinity. The other three trying to do a bit more chaining in comparison.
Like, see, the point gap is already getting significant in the early stages. As Lady White puts it, this is art. We are producing art with bullets. Look at all
We are
these
producing literal art that you may see in a museum near you.
explosions. This is Black Sun Empire. It is part of an album. I can't remember the name of the album. I think it was... I'm going to check that album very quickly. 1 second.
Yeah, guys, just relish in this.
Oh, Variations.
Yeah,
it was Black Sun Empire Variations on Black. Part of that album. I didn't really pay attention to the song, to be honest with you. I just kind of like the sound of it, so I downloaded it. So as you can see, the point difference between first and fourth is nearly 200,000 points, and we're currently on stage 5 at this current moment in time. Okay, we're on to stage 6 for everybody now. Now, funnily enough, that EMP that I just did there was actually an accident. I didn't actually mean to do that. And I actually nearly lost my run because of this. I nearly did the reset
Sometimes
button.
it's the little things that matter.
Yep. So I could have done a lot more chaining there and got maybe a few more points. So, maybe 1.82 million could be further improved. We're on to the 7th stage now, nearly at the halfway point of this particular run. Five chain bonus. So the halfway point, Irito leads stage 7 with 540,000 points, whereas I leave with 638,000 points.
The gap will slowly increase as we get to the finish line.
Not Lady White, Hey Hey needs to score another additional 206,950 points to catch up to 3rd place, 181,000 for 2nd place for Kid, and 283,000 for Irito on top of the score that they just received. The current song name is Black Sun Empire, Variations on Black, Gunslinger, Counter-Strike remix, I believe. Now, one thing I've noticed is you guys are a lot further ahead than I am. Like later on in these runs. Like, I've only just hit stage 10 now, and you guys are coming towards the end of stage 10.
Maybe because someone likes to go back a little bit.
Indeed. Guys, go backwards and use your shield energy to get some missing mines and chain more, and maybe even go over some EMP pads to score more points. It might help you a little bit more. Make sure you have sufficient shield energy to do it, which is why I say manage your shield energy when it comes to detonator.
We're definitely going to see a lot more EMP usage as we go to the final set of stages.
Yep, EMP usage is really going to begin to be rampant. So many 5K bonuses.
It's only going to increase from here.
Yep. Ooh, and the shield energies are very, very familiar with each other. I mean, Awita, you're nearly a lap ahead of me, man.
What about Hey Hey? Already on the final stage.
I'm on stage 12 and Hey Hey's on the final stage, and now so is Kid Ace. So, do you want to tell everyone about your extremely unfair bomb experience? Yes, I would actually. So during one of my runs when I was going for the times here, not the times, but the scores that I was going for on this particular event, a bomb spawned in the sky, making it impossible for me to shoot it. So obviously that ended my run straight away. Yes, I have an image of it somewhere. I'll see if I can pull it up, just to show you guys, and yeah, it is absolutely dog follow.
I didn't even know that was possible.
Yep, it was possible for me. I managed to get a bomb in the sky. So while you guys have all finished, I've only just started stage 14. Yep, a bomb spawned in the sky. I'll see if I can import it into Share Factory in a moment at the end of the stream, just so you can guys see. there it is.
1,821,550.
And that is a new world record. Well, there you go. What do we think about that? The first ever detonator comparison.
Straight out of Super Stardust or something similar.
Good game.
Now
guys.
we have one final event to show you. It will be
Q37.
It will be Detonator. I think it's more Thermal Reverse.
Incorrect. It is Talon's Junction Reverse.
Oh.
Yep. I had to change the event because we weren't getting enough on this particular one, and I noticed 37 popped up with a few more events, so I went with 37 instead. And like I said, when I post projected events that are going to appear in the run reviews, they're not final. And they, like this one was changed kind of final second because I noticed some runs coming into 37, and I feel as if it probably would suit more, considering the fact we've actually already had Mora Firma Reverse appear before on run reviews, and Talon's Junction hasn't. So, here we are. We figured instead, let's do Talon's Junction Reverse Detonator this time round. Here we have Hey Hey. Currently on stage 12. I should mention all runs for Detonator individually are starting at stage 12 onwards because of the sheer length Detonator events will last for. I mean, imagine having
Still not
3
as much
runs.
compared to a good zone run.
Indeed, which is obviously why we have to shorten down some of these runs. Speed laps and time trials you will always see in full, but sometimes with Detonator and pretty much all the time with zone mode, unfortunately you're going to see slimmed down versions, just because obviously we do have an 80-minute time limit on Share Factory, which really does suck. But nonetheless, we can still fit it all in like we have done. So yeah, and we'll continue to do so for the next 3 weeks. We'll probably see you guys here again this time next week with a bunch of new runs. And believe me, there is a lot more, because there is actually breaking news. Actually, Mr. Beak is becoming the 4th person to complete all 39 events in Transcendence live as we speak. So we have a 4th completionist.
Was the 3rd actually.
Indeed he was. And that means when Awito finishes his final event, well, you're going to be the 5th person. And next up we have Iwito in 2nd place. Would you like to walk us through your run?
I press square, and if it hits the line, it goes.
Of course.
Now,
I mean,
preferably, I would want that to happen more often than not. But nevertheless, I actually kind of like this course. I think because it originally appeared all the way back in the Fury campaign.
oh, man.
So it was something that I was a bit more comfortable with, I guess. And this was one of the earlier runs too. Like, this was like literally in the first week or perhaps the 2nd week.
So I believe me and you posted the same event within the same hour on the very first day. Like, as soon as the qualifying started, me and you posted, I think it was Q34. Me and you literally posted the same event, like, pretty much straight away.
Yeah.
It was like, it was quite crazy. And there's been a lot of crazy things. Ooh, he goes back for the bomb. Good job. Because he had the shield energy to do it, so...
Yeah, I didn't really have many consequences for not doing that.
Call me an alien. Square is my thrust button, says Temet. Interesting.
Oh wow, that's very interesting. But if
very
you're
different
comfortable with it, then there really shouldn't be much else. You could argue the same against someone like, hey, why are you using a square for absorb? Some people still do that.
Well, my question to you, though, is when you went back there, why didn't you fire as well? Because there was mines behind you. You could have missed out on some bonus points there.
Well, I didn't know.
You didn't see those mines behind you.
I don't play this one very much.
And here I am, currently 1st place. I mean, like I am on every single leaderboard in Detonator. No flex whatsoever. But as you can see, I'm constantly wiggling to kind of making sure my bullets continuously bounce off and hit as many mines as possible, which is why you kind of see me, well, I was firing backwards as well because it had to be done. We're also ending with a bit of Zardonic. Yes, we are, Cameron.
Why does this voice sound like the 2048 announcer for like metal?
Maybe it is.
Not that voice, the other one.
5J bonus. Now I paused.
You paused there.
Basically, I got called down.
Do you have a tea break?
Yes, I actually did. I had to leave for some food at that moment in time, so I had no choice but to skip the music a little bit and well, do what I just did. And as you can see, I was very low on health on this bit. Look, 12 health left. I wasn't particularly in the most greatest position.
Well, all I can do now is just hold on, try not to hit the walls, and finish off and shoot to your heart's content.
I'm missing a load of mines there. I know this run can be improved, and I know that for a fact that 1 health left now. I just EMP'd the rest of them down just to take, you know, the best points. But I think I'm probably going to go back and improve this one because it's a bit of a shitty ending. But nonetheless, it was still a new world record. So, you know. And ladies and gentlemen, that's
it. That's Run Review 3. Definitely the biggest turnout we've had yet. That means a lot to us very much. It takes a lot to do what we do. That's not a joke. I am really surprised. We had quite a few people watch this one. We hope you look forward to the next one. Try and spread the word if you want. Tell your friends. We'll try to do the same thing next week.
Indeed. Before we go, we've got a few things. So if you guys want to ask us any questions, well, Iwito mainly because he's the organizer, any questions about the tournament and anything to do with customizations, like, I don't know, anything cosmetic, ask me, because obviously if you want any rules and stuff now, you can ask right here if you want to. Or if you just want to learn about the tournament, ask. Feel free to do it right now while we're still live. And the second thing, well, Q40, as we mentioned, is now live on Transcendence, so we should go over this. If you would like to get to Q40, then you need to submit some runs, because we are only allowing anybody on that particular leaderboard if you've completed all the 39 events beforehand. So there is a bonus event up for grabs for those who, well, complete all of the events. So yeah, and it's going to be the most endurance-based event yet, which obviously is Zone Soul. And obviously we did this because, well, it was all suggested by the community as well. We wanted to see a Q40, and we wanted to see
that
it different.
was the main thing as to why it got added. I personally wouldn't have added it unless there was people saying there should have been, and since people wanted it, there you go.
And yeah, and the community gets what they want. We are transcending reality, quite literally.
And I just realized AD Racing Central's in this chat. I hope they realize they're also in the tournament.
Beak, the reason why your play tag, like your player card's tag, is smaller in writing is because your one says Transcendence 2024 Event Organizer, which is obviously a lot of text, and obviously I've had to slim it down slightly, but it should still be readable. If not, I can change it if you would like me to. I'm more than happy to change your player card if need be. No, I was just asking what I was. I forgot. Oh yeah, it was Transcendence 2024 Event Organizer, because you've been helping out as well, alongside I think Bonk, Fahim, and myself cosmetically. So yeah. We'll be back next week, the same time. I don't remember what other ones we can have. I've got a whole list of them. I can send you a list of the ones that are available to you right now. So yeah, and also if you've for those who have also had name tags automatically applied to you, you can also request to change your player tag as well. So they're all available. I'm working on a few things at the minute regarding Transcendence, like with some statistic cards that are coming at the end. Obviously, anything I do with the tournament is primarily cosmetic. Also, I have no impact on the overall events rules, events, stuff like that. I mean, if you want any of that sort of information, you go to the man that is with me right now, Mr. Iwito. So, yeah, Any questions, anybody? This is your time to ask them, and we're gonna call it a
Before
day.
we turn off for tonight, and then you'll see us again next week for a new set of runs, perhaps a few returning ones, but once again featuring whatever we can from the new, whatever runs that we get in for the next week.
Now, obviously, there was at one point as well that people were interested to see that floating bomb, and I haven't forgotten. So, you know what I'm going to do right now? I'm going to get that picture for you right now. Let me just scroll aggressively up, as you can hear. Please tell me it was in this chat. I can't actually
It
find
has to have been in one of the chats.
Sorry, we're really on a tangent here. I'll read all the comments in just 1 second. I'm still trying to find that's the Peppa Pig potato faces. That's not what we want. Oh, where's the? Is there any way you can like view media on this? No. Oh yes, there is.
Know.
Shared media. Yes, here we are. Might be easy to find now. Aha. There it is. Found it. Okay. So I'm just going to quickly show you guys. So, yeah, what I'm going to quickly do is I'm just going to delete this right here, and then I'm going to add the screenshot just so you guys can see it. Okay, right. Right, I'm just going to delete that, and then add that. There you go.
I didn't even know that was possible, but I guess we learn a lot these days.
Yep, there you go. As you can see, floating detonator bomb that is absolutely impossible to destroy. So, and this is how some of my runs actually got destroyed. So yeah, you get some weird shit happen, especially to me. I mean, it's always me that it seems to happen to. I'm not really too sure why, but there you go. So, what do you make of that, guys? Yep, pretty hard to reach. How unfair. Floating Bond trademark. Dope stream. Think we could slip in a few funny outtakes of runs as a bonus stream. Well, the problem is, though, I'd have to download all those runs, and obviously I don't have time for that now. I might be able to do something in the future. I can't say next week. I can't say in a couple of weeks, but maybe towards the end of qualifying we might do something special. We'll see. Because obviously I already know that's going to be an interesting stream as well. Let's be honest. All right. I mean, when qualifying ends, there's going to be so many more runs to see, and there's going to be probably a bigger compilation than we've ever seen before. So we've got a lot to expect. Let's get there first. Am I right? Game over, wave, game over, wave. Bravo. I'm looking forward to next week. Awesome stuff. Thank you very much, guys. I'm glad you guys all enjoyed. New meme unlocked. Yeah, please do make this into a meme. That'd be fucking hilarious. Yeah. Anything else, guys? Anything you want to say, Oito?
Not really. I guess just be excited for the next week. We'll do this shebang all over again until the end of qualifying. But time is starting to wear oh my god, Beak, you put a lot of freaking runs. Okay, that's great.
Okay, well, we'll go through and verify them in a minute. Congratulations, Beak. If your runs all do get verified, you will have access to Q39 this very night. So
you mean 40, you silly goose.
Yes, I do mean 40. Thank you very much for correcting me. But yeah. Anything else? Doesn't look like it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the third edition of Transcendence 2024's run reviews. Today is Saturday, the 3rd of February. We'll see you guys next week at 10 p.m. UK, 11 p.m. European, and 5 p.m. EST. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Have a good night.